Hi and welcome on this new video. Don't forget to like this video. Today we are going to talk about time series analytics actually. So how to visualize time series data, and possibly analyze, these, data. And the software we're going to use for this video is going to be R. So using R for time series analytics, R is a very powerful tool when it comes to analyzing time series data, right? So we're going to explore some of these core feature that R has here. So the data we are going to use here is going to be a data that is a package that is already into R. It's called air passenger data. So let me just go ahead and load the data. Let's create a chunk here. So oh yeah, something is missing here, absolutely. So let me load this air passenger data, right? It's going to be air passenger. So if the data is there, should pop up, right? Air passenger. So this is a file. Okay, no problem. Air passenger. Let me run this. I'm not sure the package is installed. If it is, then we should be able to get it. Oh, cool, it is. Great. So I will call this AP, right? So AP, that will be air passengers, right? So let's look at AP and see how AP looks. So that's how the data, look. It's a time series data. Clearly, when you look at it, it's a time series data. Varies starting from 1949 to 1960. And if you want to have a clear look at it, you can try to look at the class of AP. You run this, it tells you the time series data, right? So when you look at the nature of the data, and you can even look at the start of the data, the structure, there's a lot of stuff that you can do. You can play with it around and see, time series data. You can look at the starting day and then the ending day. Since it's a time series data, it's very easy to play around. You can look at the start of AP. It's going to give you the starting day is 1949. So you can also look at the end of AP, and then you see it's 1960, 12. So actually start from January actually to December 1960. That's what it means. The next thing we want to look at it when you have a time series data, you can try to look at the frequency. Is it like, is the frequency like, if it's monthly, right, it's going to be like 12. If it's yearly, the frequency will be 1, and so on. If it's weekly or bi-weekly or whatever, the frequency depends. So you can look at the frequency of your data. With frequency, it's going to tell you the frequency of your time series data. That's 12. It actually means I have a monthly data here because the frequency is 12. So this is a monthly data, it's not yearly data. Great. One last thing that you can look at when you have a time series data, you can plot it out and see how it looks, right? So we can plot our time series data and let's see how it looks. Great. That's our time series data here from 1949 to 1960, right? So that's how it looks. Now it's very important when you look at the data, clearly you will see that it's a time series data. Why? Because time series either it has an upward trend or a downward trend. And when you look at this graph here, it has an upward trend. So the number of passenger traveling when you look at this data is increasing over time. And when you look at it, the pattern is within each year, right? When you look at the year, when you look at 1950 here, and then 52, 54, 56, when you look at it, it goes up and then it comes down. At some point it goes up and then it slows down. We have a slowdown in growth, and then it picks up and then it goes down. And that's and the one of the reason behind it should be seasonal trend. Sometimes these airline passengers on these traveling agents, yeah, I mean this traveling business, they have some peak season and then they have a downward trend, right? Like like summertime, for example, starting from somewhere around June, July, August, September, this is the peak time, right? October, November, when the fall comes in, everybody gets back to work, students start, going to school, and then things slow down a bit. On December, it starts, to peak again. It is another peak season. December, January is another peak season, and then it goes down. So that could be one of the reasons why we see all these seasonal fluctuations. Now, another thing that might possibly, cause, the increasing trend might include, the rising prosperity, after the Second World War. When you look at it, this data is not recent, right? It's 1949 to 60. So, during these 60s, you remember there was, the Second World War that lasted from ended around 1945. So 4 years after, that's 1949, everything has resumed, and then the transportation and everything is booming, and then competition is higher. So companies are trying to, to entice customers, and that might be the reason why, with the cheaper flight ticket, people want to fly out instead of taking, the locomotive or train and so on. So that might be one of the reasons why, you see, this rising, this high trend. So that should be based on the rising prosperity. um yeah, so you can explore further, this. I don't want to make this video very longer. Yeah, so that's the, what I have for, this video. Is a very short video, but hopefully with this little stuff, like, you can start exploring your time series data. Thank you for watching this video. See you on the next one.